Hello, everybody. I'm Jaret Reddick, and this is a podcast. Jaret Goes to the Movies. Hopefully you have seen or heard one of my many musical endeavors, and if you have, then you know how much I love movies. This is movie commentary with no movie knowledge. This podcast is me and my friend Rich talking about movies that we like, but my name's on it because I'm famous. This is Jaret Goes to the Movies. Still. Okay, we're starting now.
Hi, Flo.
Hi.
It's a beautiful day, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a great year. Now, I figure with lunch and 2 ARVs, we should be on the road approximately 7 hours, 18 minutes, and 7 seconds.
ARVs.
Average restroom visits.
Oh, I'm so proud of you two boys.
Come on, Gilbert, let's go to college.
Mom packs us a lunch and we're off to school. They call us nerds cause we're so uncool. They laugh at our clothes, they laugh at our hair. The girls walk by with their nose in the air. So go ahead, put us down. One of these days we'll turn it around. Won't be long, mark my words. Time has come for
Revenge of the Nerds! Revenge of the Nerds! Nerds! Revenge of the Nerds! I used to do that so good, but it hurts my throat now. Oh my goodness. Hello everybody, my name is Jaret. Welcome to Jaret Goes to the Movies.
Hi, Jaret.
Hi, Rich. With me as always is Rich.
Hello.
The lovely Casey is back.
Hello.
She's back. And, of course, my neighbor, Tim Toole, dropping in.
For 15 minutes.
There he is. There he is. Oh, man, it's good to be back. It's been a crazy month or so. I feel like we're back in the groove now, you know?
Right.
It does. It feels good. It just feels
Good.
like good. I mean,
Right.
we're just coming up here and we're just rolling into these things. We've gotten a lot of great feedback over the last couple of weeks from a couple of other podcasts and a couple of radio shows, and it's just been nice. It's been good. I mean, in the Facebook page is growing. Got a couple of new Patreon followers. If you're interested in extra content and you want to check that out, just go to Jaret Goes to the Movies and click support. Tons of stuff that we end up deleting.
And be a producer.
And you can be a producer.
Like Dave Murray, Ashley C.
Sheila Ray.
Sheila Ray Wonder.
Wait, Wendy is one now.
Oh, that's right. Wendy is a producer now.
Crump?
Is she?
She is a producer for
a month.
For a month. And anybody, you're welcome to just do it for a month.
Absolutely.
You can change your amount anytime. Enough
You could do 50 cents for a month. if
about
you wanted
that.
to.
You could be 50 Cent for a month. We'll actually just
Right.
call you 50
I think
Cent.
he's renting himself out.
I'm going to the candy shop and with the body full of bud. My mind is what you need to buzz. Give me a hug. To do with drugs, and my sex, and making love. I know that one real good.
That was good.
It's really good. Man, I'm excited about today's movie. I am more excited that I have finally gotten over all of the HIV that I brought back from England.
I'm telling you.
I brought back what we call the pig HIV. A lot of people call it the English flu. And
How did I not get that?
the pig HIV, wasn't spreading it around. That rumor, like my mother-in-law, Casey's mom, started some vicious rumor on Facebook that I was giving everybody the lurgy.
You gave it to Mark.
No, I did not. He was sick when he came over.
Oh.
Casey's dad was sick when he came over. And then Casey's stepdad got sick. And then everybody else started feeling like they might be a little bit sick. And everybody blamed me. And I was sick the whole time. And then I got strep throat on my birthday, on my 44th birthday.
It's your birthday.
And it's going to party like it's your birthday.
That's 50 Cent,
we
full
don't
circle.
give a fuck 'cause it's your birthday. Come on, bud, come on, just in my need. If you've been to making love, but come give me a hug. But to the candy shop. None of them are gonna give you drop.
Isn't that Ryan Lewis?
Oh,
No,
thrift store.
that's thrift shop.
Yeah, that's thrift.
Oh my gosh.
Shop. I don't know. I get it. I get my Ryan Lewis and my 50 cents mixed up. Anyway, I'm feeling tons better. And again, it took a while to get back into the groove, back into the schedule. Tons of stuff going on in my life right now, both musically, voice-wise. But I got to say, this is something that I look forward to every single week and sometimes twice a week.
Right.
And even the extra stuff that we do. This weekend, we did a Google Hangout with like 5 of our Patreon
Right.
supporters.
Right.
I also learned that I don't say or near as much as like most radio DJs because I've been paying attention to that. And like every time I say it when we're in here, I feel like somebody should shock me with something.
Right.
To try and get
Rubber
me
band to
to
the wrist.
stop doing it. But I don't when we have Eric Chandler on the show, it's gonna be the best because he is the king of the He's the king of the
He can't be worse than me.
filling up the space with some sort of vowel sound. Man, I'm excited about this movie. When I say all the time that I say many, many things from a motion picture, this one probably is going to be up there as having pretty close to the most things that I say constantly. This one was a treat. First of all, I turned it on and I had so much to do and I had waited till today to watch it. And Rich had scared me because he's like, he texted me the other day, we've got to start figuring this out because you can't stream this from anywhere. Nobody's going to get to see it or whatever. And I texted Tim last night. I'm like, hey man, you get the DVD for Revenge of the Nerds? He's like, no, I can't find it, but you can watch it for free on demand on DirecTV or AT&T right now or HBO Go. So I watched it for free today. And I was so happy to turn it on, and it's only an hour and a half. And every single part was just so great. And I had such a good time watching it by myself.
So Rich didn't pick this one?
Rich did
No.
not pick. Oh, are you joking? Yeah, this is definitely not a Rich pick. No, I don't. Here's the thing. Coming up, I'm going to do something about the selection of fucking movies that's happening because coming up, we're doing some that Wendy and Rich picked some movie. What happens in
What
Vegas?
Happens in Vegas.
You guys don't fucking shoot me. My name's on the podcast, but I didn't pick that shit. Honestly, I thought if we ever did an Ashton Kutcher movie, it'd be Dude, Where's My Car? That'd be it for me.
Right.
But no, lo and behold, what happens in Vegas is going to happen on our podcast.
She was a producer for a month, and she wanted to pick.
She chose that movie
so she could talk on it and stuff.
Well, then I won't give you
she's
the
having
shit.
a bad month.
I won't give you the shit that don't play that card on me.
She was
Don't
having a bad
fucking
month.
don't fucking do that. You know I'm just talking shit. I don't really care. I'm just fucking. You know what I'm gonna watch Dude, Where's My Car? And just
And podcast that.
And every
Start
time
with
y'all start talking about something, I'll be like, yeah. And then they
And
got
then
the
he was like,
tattoos.
dude, and he was like, sweet.
And then
and then
no ended.
And then no ended.
The dude from Buck Cherry's wife is in that movie.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that. And I'll be touring in October with Buck Cherry and Steel Panther in the United Kingdom. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, I would say that Dude, Where's My Car is about 40 times better than this piece of shit movie. This is the worst fucking movie we've watched.
Revenge of the Nerds?
This was terrible. I laughed a total of 3 times, and it was all booger jokes.
Yeah. You know, I saw this coming, and I think the big thing is I think you had to grow up with this one. You know, this is definitely one of those. Well, you know, this is one of the ones where and again, I don't want to start quoting it now because I'm hoping that you pulled a lot of quotes, and if you didn't, I'll just fucking act out the whole movie for you. That's fine too. But there are just so many amazing one-liners in this, and it's so ridiculous. And yeah, I can pick it apart, and I'm planning to do that. I'm gonna be mean to it at some times as well. John Goodman was just on Howard Stern just real recently.
Holy shit, he was skinny in this movie.
And he's skinny again.
Is he really?
Yeah. So he did he quit drinking.
Oh wow.
And it was like a raging alcoholic.
Is that the key?
I mean, he had drank. I mean, he drank. I mean, he was like
what do we do?
We drink.
We podcast.
And then while we're working, and then we go and then we sit at the table and
drink some more.
And drink some more. Yeah.
Okay.
But he's lost a bunch of weight. But this was kind of his first thing. I mean, he was actually having trouble breaking into the whole acting world, and he wasn't getting anywhere. And he scored this, and my God, did he knock this out of the park. I mean, his character is so fucking good.
I love everything he does.
And I mean, the thing is that just character-wise, this whole movie is fucking great. I mean, and again, it's you gotta think about what this spawned too. After this movie, so I guess I was in junior high. I guess I was in the 7th grade because after this movie came out, like we would have nerd day at school. and you'd have to dress up like a nerd, and they still do that. That's still a thing. And I'm not even sure like people actually dress like this anymore, you know? I mean, unless you're in the Geek Squad, you have to.
I'm surprised that they even do Nerd Day anymore without it being like this huge anti-bullying, crazy, like, who are you to say people with glasses and suspenders are nerds? But they do it every year.
I think it's easier now than it was back then because
now being nerdy is cool.
Yeah, and also, again, there's just not the... There's a little bit of the whole brand consciousness that happens now, but at the same time, if you buy Chuck Taylors from Target now, nobody gives a shit. When I was in school, if you
I've
brought
got Walmart ones right now.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, and nobody cares. But when you had to wear the right kind of Michael Jordans and the right kind of capas and the right kind of jeans, and there were that otherwise you were poor or a nerd, and that was it. Which I was both.
Right.
But I was king of the dipshits.
I had an orange pair of corduroy that my mom made me wear.
Ah, man, I was lucky in that department. Once I started growing out my hair, which was 6th grade, my mom just gave up on the whole making me wear shit. So, I mean, they hated it. They hated my hair, but she just wouldn't fight anymore. I mean, she would try to dress me up like my brother, and I didn't want to dress like that, and... she was cool.
The opposite happened to me. I actually started dressing like my brother, and my mom tried to stop me, and then she couldn't.
Well, let's dive in to. I do want to say a few things about the opening scene. First of all, how creepy is Lewis with Gilbert's mom? Just the close talking, high flow, and just and ARVs. Come on, average restroom visits with a little dirty laugh right after that. Like he's calculating it right there. It's fucking great.
And did you notice the dad drops them off on a street in front of some building, and then they immediately pick up the giant wardrobe thing and carry it through the puddle for some reason across the giant field to another road that is obviously hooked to this road.
Right.
And then down a couple of streets, across a few other streets, and then it looks like they're in a completely separate part of town now.
Yeah.
As they're walking to their dorm.
It's a long trek. It was at Adams College. They don't actually allow cars on the roads.
I guess not.
Even
though there were other cars parked on the road and driving by them, but whatever. We'll let that slide.
Just like the police don't have any power. Everything goes to the Great Council. The one line you missed though is the one line you missed though is the he's like, hey, how fast are we going, Lewis? What's going on? I'm trying to calculate our exact ETA. Dad, how fast are we going? Got the old cruise control set at 35, son. It's just like at this point, it's like, okay, why are nerds clumsy? Why do they drive slow? I mean, none of that really makes any sense.
No. Was he driving slow or was he driving the speed limit?
Well, they were on the highway being passed by people who were like honking at them and shit. So I'm pretty sure.
45 minimum on they could have gotten a ticket. You would think that they'd want to obey the law because they're nerds. It would at least be 45.
Yeah, grab the trunk. Grab the other side of the trunk, Gilbert. Love it, man. Absolutely love it.
Ogre. Well, anyway, college is a whole new ballgame. Ogre. People judge you differently than they did in high school. Where are they? I think they're talking about us.
No way, Gilbert. No way.
How is he that self-unaware?
Where are they?
That he doesn't know that they're talking about them.
Here's the thing about Lewis. He's lived this life. He's been the nerd. He's the oblivious nerd. He doesn't know that he's uncool. He was the kid that made the grades in school, hung out with his parents, his best friend Gilbert. They made robots and shit like that. And he's going off to be a man, and he sees positivity in every fucking thing that happens to them until the very end, and that's what makes Gilbert lose his shit, and that's when the fucking nerds triumph. But that's what it takes. It takes him losing his positivity, which you just see throughout this movie, like how positive this guy is. He's just even says it in the car. He's just like, don't be so negative, Gilbert. Like it's gonna be great.
Do people like that exist though? That's just like
oblivious and positive people. I definitely think that that's a thing.
Absolutely,
100%. Okay. I'm being pointed at. Like I am a super positive. I am bright side, like Mr. Positive guy. I wouldn't say that I'm oblivious
when the lights are on. But when you turn the lights out, I'm sure you decompress.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that you're like oblivious positive.
No, but I'm positive.
He always refers to himself as benefit of the doubt guy. Like, I think that's pretty spot on.
I have my own theme song. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
Benefit of the doubt guy.
That's me.
You just had that ready, just at a click of a button.
Yeah,
ready to go.
That was a feature in my original podcast because I got told all the time that anytime I would talk shit about something, then I would always turn around and go, but you know, and that is me. That's me in real life. That's my shit. So I had Linus do me a little theme song for that every time he comes in. Maybe we need to start dropping that in every once in a while whenever I start being that guy.
Okay. I am not that guy. I'm definitely not that guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Hasn't figured that out yet. I am definitely not that
really
guy.
Surprises me.
I am pessimistic.
What? So they get into their dorm room, and I love the dialogue here. It's just like he goes, "Hey, Lewis, you think they'd let us put a fridge in here?" He's just like,
and a microwave.
Gilbert, we could put a fridge. We can even put a microwave if you want. You know, and then they start to put together the robot that's going to warn the other one when they've got chicks.
The most worthless piece of shit ever. It's basically like a 5-foot tall computer that doesn't do anything but spit out Kmart receipts.
Right.
There's no screen.
No.
So how do you know what you're typing in to program stuff?
Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. None of these movies at this time ever portray computers in a realistic way. Fucking ever. I was going to go off on this.
Meanwhile, at the fraternity house, while they're checking into the dorm,
right,
they're having a party with beer that apparently they don't know how to drink.
Right.
They think it's like they drink by osmosis.
Right. It's just like
nothing's going in their mouth.
He's got the huge trophy and it's already full and he's like, fill it up, and it all just goes on the ground.
And just pour it on my head.
Yeah,
Let's dive in a pool. That's how we get drunk.
Well, you know, it's the first day of school. They're all learning, Rich. You know,
they haven't had the science.
No, they
class
haven't.
yet.
You know what? We haven't even talked about the cast, so let's do that real quick because I think this is important to note. Robert Carradine, who is the brother of David Carradine, the guy from Kung Fu and Kill Bill, very famous actor who died of pretty mysterious causes in Japan, I believe. And
he took the NXS death.
Yeah, but there's a lot of controversy around that. A lot of people don't really believe that was real. So, you know, that's interesting. Then we've got Goose from Top Gun.
Well, they said he was masturbating, right?
Yeah, I mean, yes, that's the thing. But and in like women's clothing and shit, and there was not a lot of.
But with a belt around his neck.
Now that I don't remember.
No, that's how he died from asphyxiation, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So he had a belt around his neck. So he was trying to whack off doing that whole thing, so it would give him a better.
I'm surprised I'm not dead from that yet.
Who died doing that? The Kill Bill.
Michael Hutchins.
No, Kill Bill. David Carradine.
Kill Bill. And that's who we're talking about.
That's David Carradine. That's who we're talking about.
I'm gonna be honest. I
was not
just
listening.
Tuned back in.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about.
Did you get your phone updated?
Yeah.
All right, great.
Who is he in Nerds?
His brother is Lewis, the main character besides Dr. Green.
Wait, Lewis is the main character? What's the other guy's name?
Gilbert.
That's right. Okay.
Gilbert is Goose, Dr. Green.
Right. Exactly.
And the guy from Gotcha.
Right. And then we got Roger from Happy Days.
Right. Who has been in fucking everything.
Yeah.
He was in Married with Children.
Oh, yeah.
But he always played this guy back then. He also has to be like 55 years old in this movie.
Yes,
like
definitely.
There's a few of them that are kind of believable.
He's got the greatest head of hair that's ever lived.
That could be true. Absolutely.
It's amazing.
It really is. And
Right.
quite a physique, if I do say so.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the guy from Better Off Dead, who is,
Booger.
you know, this
Who plays
is
the same
pure
character.
snow.
This is the same
You
character.
realize what the street value of this is?
He played the same character in Moonlighting, too. Just
That's
a lot older.
Very true.
Gable, check this out. Check this out. It is outrageous, man.
What is it?
Just try it.
Jeez, Bert, what is this?
188 proof. It's called a fireball, man. Watch.
Oh,
Big stack, flame on, buddy. Flame on.
Oh, no. What is that?
Flame on.
Yeah, and then
Flame on, buddy.
And then turn to
Yeah.
your right.
Right.
2 feet from the curtains.
Right.
And purposely do it right at the curtain.
What's the point?
What the fuck?
That did not make any sense.
any sense.
No. I will say that, so I started thinking about that today. And I started thinking about the unbelievable aspect of that, the unbelievable aspect of what's about to happen as far as the freshman dorm is concerned. And I think to myself, why did you just do that motion?
I was going to say, did you see? I was holding my hand up. Did you see the flame retardant gel on? I'm sorry. I said retardant. Special kneading gel that he has all over his hand. It was so obvious. It was like glistening. It was all greasy.
No.
All over his hand and on his face too, so he wouldn't burn himself.
All right. Thanks to faulty wiring, we have no place to live, right?
Right!
And these freshmen are sitting pretty in there. So as of now, that dorm is ours, right?
Yeah!
Any room you want. Ready? Bang!
Yeah, and so that's not believable.
There's 15 guys.
Yeah.
They're kicking out a dorm. The dorm holds 200-300 people.
At least. That place is huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
And they kick out, I counted, I actually stopped and counted everybody. They kicked out 35 people. So even if they had one person per room instead of doubling up like the freshmen have, they'd still have extra rooms, but maybe a pool table or something. That's understandable.
Yeah.
So maybe they didn't kick out the entire dorm, just those specific people, maybe.
Right.
But still.
Why
did they have to throw them out the window?
But
and did they go back in to get their stuff?
Right,
to drag
exactly.
It down
Yeah, that's a good point. But I do feel like that this did help to set them up as outcasts, because here they are. They leave their room. They then everybody gets chosen for a fraternity, and here's these guys still standing here.
Because of the housing situation, we are allowing the freshman class to join and live in fraternities. All right. The fraternities will select their new members tomorrow.
All right, enough of the social bullshit. Grab a cut.
I like how the coach is still involved.
Yeah.
Like, why are you involved in this?
Exactly.
This has nothing to do with you.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, they're living in the gym with cots, and he's like, you guys can stay here as long as you want, or at least until basketball season.
Excuse, please, but why do they call you Booger?
I don't know.
Meanwhile, he's picking his nose.
Yeah, that one was pretty obvious. Yeah, I would also think that if you're going to Adam College, which is obviously a very private school, your parents probably aren't going to be super stoked about you sleeping in the gym.
That was the first thing I thought of. Okay, am I getting the money back that I paid to sleep
for
in
the
the
residency?
dorm?
Yeah.
Do I get that back? How does that work?
I don't think we're supposed to think about that.
Oh, half the people obviously get into fraternities. Oh, by the way, I was in a fraternity I went to North Texas.
Yeah.
UNT. I'm a Sigma Chi from there. What was the big deal about freshmen? Well, I was a freshman when I pledged.
Well, I guess at this
places?
school you can't pledge as a
thing?
freshman. I don't know. I mean, I always everybody that I know who's ever been in one, you pledge as a freshman.
Yeah, that's the whole
how
thing.
you get into social activities.
Because you're half the year you're a pledge.
That's how you get drunk underage and.
Yeah.
Did you have to?
Well, you don't even have to pledge to do that. You don't even have to go to college.
That's true.
Oh, wow.
Did you have to fuck a goat though?
Not a goat.
Per se. He did make a very nice female bah, though.
Are you guys looking to join a sorority?
A sorority? No.
No.
Hi. We really need some help. We figured pretty girls like you might be able to suggest a fraternity.
Well, you know, boys, choosing the right fraternal organization can be one of the most important decisions in a man's life.
For sure.
Guys like you have to weigh your choices very carefully.
Definitely.
Well, tell us, what frat do you think is us?
You guys are alpha betas all the way.
Totally, for sure.
Fraternal organization.
For sure.
For sure.
Okay, Lewis has to have, you can't have this much confidence and not have walked up to a pretty girl before. And so he's what? He's 18 years old. In the past 10 years, I would assume that with this amount of confidence, he's walked up to a lot of girls.
Yeah.
And behaved this way.
And
every single one of those girls would have said, "Get the fuck out of my face, you nerd." So at some point in his 18 years, I would think he'd go, you know what? Maybe this isn't going to happen and I should stop embarrassing myself.
Nope.
No?
Tim says no.
Nope. We keep going.
We keep going.
We keep going. And I'll tell you why.
And you're happily married now.
I'm happily married. You want to know why? Because women love that shit. You just keep going. You keep trying, and it's confidence. They love confidence, and he gets her at the end of the fucking movie.
I definitely have known A lot of people like that in my life who may not be the most attractive,
but they just power through it.
Who may not have the best social skills in the world, but they're completely oblivious to it. They drive straight in and just go for it.
100%. As a girl, like I've probably definitely kissed some dorky boys on the mouth that just had some confidence in high school. I mean, I don't know. But my mom taught me to date nerds. She always told me to. I generally didn't, but she's like, here's the deal. They're going to be that loser's boss one day.
Right.
And chances are, once he gets past the awkward stage, he might be pretty hot. You just got to get a good eye for it. And I did get a good eye for it.
It's so fucking true, though, for both sexes, I think, because it really is true if you, and now we have the proof. I mean, it's in the Facebook, and I don't just mean profile pictures. If you actually like Facebook stalk some people, the best looking girls from high school did not weather well most of the time.
Right.
And the ones that were just kind of like, have like fucking aged like a fine wine and like are just smoking.
Absolutely true.
And it's like the high school quarterback is fucking bald and selling insurance now.
And all he ever did was be a quarterback.
And that's it. And that his fucking trophies are still in his office. And,
I ran into a boy one time, and it had to have only been maybe 4 years out of high school.
You ran into him with your vagina?
Uh-huh.
Okay, got it.
And
I hurt my own feelings.
That's what you get. So he was super nice, and he always had a crush on me all in high school. And he was super, super like just real nice dude. Didn't have a lot in common. Didn't talk to him. I'd say he was a little bit nerdy, like not in a bad way. Smart kid.
Sure.
A little bit on the heavier side. Like just I don't know, just all around all of the stereotypical nerdy qualities with the hair and the complexion and the things. Right. And I ran into him like pretty close to Louisville High School, and he's like, Casey, and I turned around and I'm like, who the fuck are you? I had no idea. This dude lost all the weight, got super in shape, skin cleared up immediately, started his own computer company, showed me the ring that he literally, you can't even write this shit, that he literally just bought his girlfriend. And I'm just like, holy shit. Like, my mom was right. Like, good for that girl. But it was just a good story. I'm like, I can't wait for our 10-year reunion because you get to go in there and go fuck you to every single person that we went to high school with because you turned out hot.
Yeah, the problem is if you do basically give them what they want early on, they won't do all these things. It's the fact that they don't get the girl for so long. It gives them the drive to be the president of the company and one day drive a Lamborghini.
And I'd like to point out, I wasn't like the girl. But he was like. But it was just kind of a funny scenario. It just happens a lot.
Yeah, I don't really agree with you on that, Rich. I mean, maybe to an extent. But here's the thing. I think some people kind of just grow into who they are because obviously I'm 44. I've gained some weight. I'm not the skinniest person in the world. Let me just say this. I was a fat kid growing up. I hit about 18, 19. Weight kind of started coming off a little bit. My face took shape a little bit. Time I fucking got into being in a rock and roll band, it was like, okay,
holy shit,
I look pretty fucking good. This is not that bad. And I never really thought I was the best looking guy in the world, but I definitely can look back going, shit, how did I fucking turn out like this? Now I'm fucking back. It's like fucking, I'm like fifth grade revisited.
I was about to say, I feel like I'm like back in my fifth grade awkward stage where I'm just like, what the fuck happened?
What happened to me?
What shape am I? I have no idea. It's fascinating.
You guys seem pretty cool. Take these for later. Rubbers? What do we need rubbers for?
And I just love that when he hands them, you guys seem pretty cool, and he throws them, and they're already unfolded.
Right,
like, how are you gonna get that on? It's hard to get those on if you can't roll it down.
Yeah.
I've heard.
You've heard.
I've never used one, but I
was in a fraternity.
Yeah.
The ceremony is just like that, except nothing like that.
Right. No humping of goats and stuff.
No, ours, it was so tame. There was no hazing. There was no anything.
It does exist, though. Obviously, it definitely in the movies, that's something that they have to at least entertain.
5-10 years before we went to college, it was pretty bad. But by the time it got to, it was not, you couldn't do shit.
My brother went in 85, and he rushed. He didn't get in. I don't know. He was...
Oh, he didn't get in?
He didn't. And I don't know that he didn't get in or just didn't follow through with that order, but I know it was pretty,
He didn't want to fuck the goat.
Maybe he didn't want to fuck the goat.
Yeah.
Okay, Takashi, what do you got?
Well, I think I have a frush.
What the fuck is a frush?
Frush.
Oh, well, see, I got 2 7s, and 2 7s beats a frush.
I fucking say this so much. I say it all the time. Every time I fucking have a flush, somebody has a flush, I have to say, what the fuck is a frush? I have to do it. It's fucking instilled in me.
And you know what I'm going to say about this scene?
What?
They fucking stole it from Stripes.
They did steal the concept from Stripes, but you know what? I don't know that Stripes didn't borrow that from somebody. Teaching a foreigner how to play cards, and actually it wasn't a foreigner in Stripes, was it?
It was a mutt.
Yeah, it was just it was Cruiser. John Candy is teaching Cruiser how to.
His nose was cold.
Yeah,
but did he say frush?
He didn't say frush.
But
no.
I mean, the joke was stolen.
But the point in Stripes though, it was everything, because it's just like, okay, now we're in Italy, so you have to make my bed. Now, if we were in France, I'd have to make yours, but we're not. So rules are rules. Sorry about that.
It's no use. It's inhuman.
Oh, it's not human. Only humans can be inhuman. Here, let me show you.
Let me show you how things don't work.
Working with a computer's great. I mean, it's godlike in a way. Because you can have complete control.
No.
And more amazing computing and graphic building by typing. And you can't even see what's being typed on the screen.
That's not how it works.
But it's the same fucking thing that happens in all these movies. It happened on Weird Science. It fucking happened on War Games. It happens on all of them.
It even happens today in modern movies. The same shit.
Right.
Yeah, because they're typing and then there's just shit flying and just we're going into tunnels and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not how it works.
This is not
it's
how it
boring.
works. No.
That is a good point, though, because back then you guys were probably like, oh, I bet there's some crazy technology.
There is no fucking way I was buying into that at all.
I bet you were. I bet everybody was.
There's no way I was.
I bet you were.
No, I bought into it.
I met a girl. Gilbert. Her name's Judy. Judy's a nice name, Gilbert. Yeah, she's a nice girl.
Big deal. Did you get in her pants?
She's not that kind of a girl, Booger.
Why? Does she have a penis?
Oh my God.
This was the first time in the movie that I laughed out loud, loudly.
I think this is part of the problem with you and podcasts about movies. It's you can't.
So I
watch
do have
this,
a problem.
Well, you can't watch this as being a 45-year-old man, not at least trying to remember this being a movie of. So if you didn't grow up with it and it's not that important,
I did grow up with it.
Then that's fine.
I watched it several times when I was a kid.
But not thinking that certain things are fucking funny. And anyway, this is a fucking awesome, and that's an awesome line. And then followed up by the fact that the food splashes all over Poindexter, and he's like, "You gonna eat this?" Fucking saw it coming. Still funny. And by the way, we haven't even talked about certain members of the cast, by the way, that, I mean, like, I do feel like we should at least acknowledge it.
Poindexter
is Timothy Busfield.
Right.
Who's like pretty fucking well-respected actor. Did that
He's
show.
like 30-something or whatever.
In the movie? So, is that what he was on?
He was on 30.
He was like, you got me on that one, you son of a bitch. Curtis Armstrong, who we talked about earlier, he was in One Crazy Summer. He was Better Off Dead. He just, again, you said he was on Moonlighting.
Who's there? What do you want?
Is this the Stewart residence?
Why are you here?
I've come about the room.
What do you want?
I've come about the room.
Go ahead, go away.
Do you have a room to rent?
Not for rent.
I thought it was for rent.
Fuck off.
All of that was ad-libbed. That whole scene, so good.
I agree.
And it's
that was the second thing I laughed at.
But so good. But I thought all of the awkward scenes of them walking up to the rooms for. I mean, I thought that the one with Wormser walking
with
up to
the
but with the kid walking up to the overweight lady who's a little too sexual. I mean, seeing that in 1984 as a 12-year-old kid, I thought that was really fucking funny.
Look, when I was a kid.
I thought the Chinese guy or the Japanese guy walking up to the Japanese guy, he just like speaking his own language, nerd. I thought that was hilarious. Yeah. I think Lamar walking up to the biker guy's house and it just being like, just checking. That's fucking funny.
It wasn't laugh out loud
funny. Well, it
funny.
fucking certainly set up fuck off.
Sure. They eventually find a house of their own and cue the 80s cleanup montage music.
Right. I will say, I love the soundtrack to this one, man. And not only do I love just the songs that they picked, you've got to put one foot in front of the other, put your other foot down. Is that's a cleanup montage? I believe it is.
I don't know.
Even the songs that they sing, which I'm hoping we get to at some point.
Probably not.
God, just anything that was audible musically in this movie. I fucking loved it, and I thought it was great.
It was very distinctive. I'll give you that. It was super distinctive. It said Revenge of the Nerds. As a matter of fact, I think it even said Revenge of the Nerds in the song.
Feeling anything now?
Oh no, I'm feeling nothing at all.
and he's wearing a shirt that says...
Laugh number 3.
He's
right
wearing
there.
a shirt that says "Give me head till I'm dead."
Yes, I have
The
that.
character of Booger, though, is like, that's a real guy in real life. I mean, that's king of the dipshits. I mean, so to speak. I mean, like, there's that guy in every group who, like, thinks he's fucking cooler than he is. He always dresses cooler than everybody else, but he just kind of can't pull it off.
But Gimme had an apostrophe at the end, which it didn't need, until didn't have an apostrophe, which it did need. That's
right.
what bothered me about
Right,
that.
and they're in college.
Exactly.
Fuckers.
You'd think they'd fucking know.
Sons of bitches. This is coming from a guy who's...
You're still supposed to be
Picks his
learning in
nose.
college.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know what this world is coming to. You see that man over there? We arrested him for mopery.
What's mopery?
Mopery is exposing yourself to a blind person. I'm sorry about your windows, fellas. It's out of my jurisdiction. Sounds like a fraternity prank. There's only one organization that can handle this.
What organization is that?
The Greek Council.
Dun dun. Dun dun. Very, very
Dude,
unbelievable at this
The
point.
second they said the Greek Council,
The
I
Great-
go,
yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm fucking out.
You wanted to just leave?
Yes, because this is the stupidest fucking thing ever.
Right.
Y'all are the worst. This is becoming so negative.
I know.
It's not me. It's not me. I fucking love every single minute of this.
But
I
you
think-
agree that is ridiculous.
Well, at this point, I do think that the Great
The
Council...
movie's supposed to be ridiculous.
Well, I do feel like it does get a little bit ridiculous
all
here.
I'm
I mean,
saying
there's no... To have the president, the only person that can call a vote, and he's the one that's in trouble, and the dean sits there, there's nothing he can do. But
I can't do anything.
I feel like it does sort of set up the next thing, and that is, they have to go in there. They're going to try to decide that they're going to be a fraternity on their own. They're making some big choices. Rocks come through the window of the kitchen. It says, "Nerds get out." It's very upsetting.
Well, gentlemen, as president of the Greek Council, I'm sorry to inform you that your membership has been denied.
Excuse me, but why?
Well, according to our charter, you must have a national fraternity as your sponsor. Do you have one?
No.
Well, I'm afraid he's right.
But all we have to do is get a national sponsor and we're in, right?
Right. So, guess we'll see you in about, say, 20 years.
Over the top funny.
Got him.
Yeah, I didn't like that part either.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah, I thought that the 20 years.
As you know, we have no chapter at Adams College, which is why I've agreed to see you. But I must tell you, gentlemen, you have very little chance of becoming trilaterals. I'm in a difficult situation here. I mean, after all,
You're nerds.
you're nerds.
I chuckled at that.
The whole
that was a good line.
The whole okay, so we've sent out 31 applications. Hey, how many of them didn't have a photo? One. Which one? Lambda, lambda, lambda. Guys, here's one that'll see us. Lambda, 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 and there they are. And I love it. Just standing in there, man.
That's brilliant.
Yeah,
No,
brilliant.
this twist was a good twist.
And it's technically or it's seemingly an all black fraternity.
Seemingly,
yeah.
Because
Seemingly.
we can't assume things.
Well,
or-
they didn't turn them down because of race, so
sure. Okay,
Yeah.
let's say there were no other white
Let's
people
not
in the
say
fraternity.
it's seemingly a
it's definitely seemingly all black.
We didn't talk about the mopery. Have you ever heard the word mopery
No,
before?
and in fact, you see, you're getting me off my game by just only saying how much you hate the movie every time. It's like
You keep asking me.
Well, no, I didn't. I haven't fucking asked you once.
You keep saying, how do you not like this?
No, I don't know how many times I've said that, but it can't be more than twice. You just fucking volunteer that information
All right,
every
maybe
single
that's
time I turn
true.
around.
Maybe
Here's the
that's
thing, but no, I wanted to say, mopery just seemed like one of those words you would know. It's like that word
No.
you say. It's like your trope thing that you're just like, that's tropey. We have one podcast, I think it's like 4 podcasts ago, where you say trope or tropey 17 times.
Okay.
That is a big exaggeration.
Yeah,
you
he
actually
did not count them.
I did not count them.
3
Maybe
tops.
3 times that you said it. It
Right.
seemed like
Still,
17.
that's a lot.
That's a lot of times. That is a lot of times to say tropey.
Yeah,
I'm just more
it's like it
impressed.
was like your word of the day, like on the calendar that morning, and you're like, I need to use this a couple times in the podcast.
I'm just super impressed that you listened to the podcast, honestly.
They so the thing is that they decide, okay, we're in the fraternity, we're gonna have this big party. You know, he invites them down. It's like, hey, why don't you come down? We'll have a big party. You know, you can get to know us. You can see how we that. So if you flash to the party, well, actually, getting ready for the party, the guys don't have dates. Lewis goes up. He asks Betty to be his date.
Right.
And she slams the door, and she's like, one of those nerds just asked me out.
Right. How
And
dare
it's-
he?
So then Stan Gable's like, I know what we're gonna do. And while he's lifting his weights, but he can't just tell him, he's got to go, come here. Because we must whisper what our plan is, right?
In a room with just us.
So the guys are sitting around talking about and so anybody else but Gilbert got a date. Lamar's like, I do, and Booger's like, yeah, but that's with a guy. And it's at that point where I started kind of putting it together
That he was gay?
well, no. There's some gay humor that definitely could not make it today.
What?
In a movie, and there's some crazy racial shit in here.
Fucking crazy
And I
racial
don't
shit.
even mean like just the what the fuck is a frush or the black fraternity or any of that. Like there is a girl in the Omega Moose who is not even dark complected at all, and they put her in like an Indian costume and put the biggest red dot on her fucking head.
She wasn't even Indian.
No, that's
she
what I'm
was
saying.
white.
She was. That's what I'm saying. It was. And then, did you notice when they take the lambda photo? There's just a random dude, not dark complected at all. Like that's absolutely. And in no way am I saying you have to be. It's just they did this on purpose. They just wrapped a thing around his head, and it wasn't even good. This is like a turban around the man's head, and it was just like, what is happening? There is some racial shit going on,
And
in
it
this
was
movie.
totally fine, apparently.
Totally
back
fine
then.
back then, yeah.
Yeah.
In 1983.
Isn't that weird? Like I guess we take so much for granted the steps and the quote unquote progress that we've made.
Right.
From now and since our childhood.
Right.
Because that's a long way. That could never happen today.
Right.
So think about when our kids right now, when they're our age, is race even gonna be a big deal at all?
I hope not.
Like,
I mean,
why? Like, I know my kids could care less.
Oh, my kids don't. I mean, my kids. I swear to God, I know people say this and it sounds cheesy, but they do not see color at all. They do not.
My stepdaughter, her best friend group had a black girl, a gay boy, a nerdy girl with a gay mom, and some bigger girl and a skinny girl, and it was just like no big deal. We're all just friends.
Right.
It was.
You just have friends. That's how it works.
It's just friends.
Yeah, that is. So they're getting ready for the party. We're gonna put the food over here. We're gonna put the food over there, and then Takashi says, maybe we should have lobster craws. And of course, Booger, what the fuck are lobster craws? I say lobster craws all the fucking time.
Did you say lobster craws the other day when my whole face blew up?
I 100% did. And you could fucking, dude, she made lobster for me the other day. She
Right.
made lobster tails for me. I'm just like, I am so excited about lobster craws.
And it turns out my doctor wasn't joking when she said I was allergic to shellfish.
100%.
Wasn't a joke.
She is.
Did we talk about the mopery yet? Because I got to go back to the mopery.
We talked about the mopery.
We did not talk about the mopery.
No, we just talked
we
about
didn't.
mopery was a word that he might use.
It's exposing yourself to a blind person.
Right.
Yeah. Did you look it up? I figured you would look it up.
No, I didn't look it up, but I think it's a word.
Let's both make up a definition for mopery, not meaning expose yourself to a blind person. Okay, mopery.
It's art of drawings of people doing things that are lazy.
Okay, I like it. I like that. That's
You
good.
like it?
Okay, that's good. You got one?
No, I'm waiting for you.
Oh boy. Yikes.
This is your idea.
What?
What?
Yeah.
So a deaf guy and a guy with Tourette's walk into a bar.
No, mopery is
they're best friends.
It's like potpourri, only it's allowed. You're allowed to have it if it's just dudes living in a place. Damn it.
Mopery is like potpourri that you don't have to refill every couple of weeks.
Mopery. I don't get it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like the mopery is the room that you go to.
Yes.
To
not do anything.
No, not to not do anything. Like I would say it would be like the room in your house that you go to dwell on the feelings of sleeping with like 3 people in one night, just to like feel really bad about it, like super drunk. Like that's your mopery. Okay. Like you go there just to self shame and feel terrible.
It's very specific.
This party isn't going very well, is it? I don't know why everybody's so uptight.
Me either. Maybe we should eat.
Maybe we should watch TV.
Hey, guys. Wonder Joints.
Oh man, we just the thing is that there's so many funny things that happen before Wonder Joints. So I'm going to go through it for you really quickly, Rich, so you do not have to suffer a whole lot. First of all, she says that the pies come and they sing them a song. Hello, lambdas, where the pies.
Is that first?
Yes, they want to be their dates. And something.
By the way, that's a real thing.
High IQs to their great big jocks.
Instead of
lambda boys really are the best. Won't you take a piece of pie and we'll do the rest? And so they're all excited because they've got dates,
right?
And that's really great and all of that. And then they don't show up to the party, right? And so Lewis and Gilbert are talking, and Lewis like, I don't think UN is having a really good time. And he's like, maybe it's the music. I'll go and change it.
Oh my God.
Big racist thing happens here.
God.
And he switches the record.
Swing low, sweet chariot.
And it's just like Lamar comes back over and puts the dance song back on. So good.
I insensitively sing that at work a lot.
Yeah, that is one that pops into my head all the time.
Same.
But you're not like cleaning baseboards when that happens.
And then, so they say to Judy, they say, what are we going to do? You know, they're talking about how they don't have dates. And she goes, I could call my sorority sisters. And he's like, do you think they would come? And she goes, they're really spontaneous people. And then they tell Booger, and he's like, oh no, not the moose. The moose are pigs. And he's got a whole pinky up his nose. At the time. Then they all start coming in through the door, and that's when we get to see the most racist Indian girl ever. Right. Now, you would think that would be the end of the hilarity before Wonder Joints. It's not, Rich. We get into violin time, where Poindexter performs his violin for a group of girls on one side and a group of boys on the other side. Fucking hilarious. And then Judy gets to play her fucking accordion. So I say I gotta be free. So I say I gotta be me. I'm saying I gotta be. Yeah.
She was horrible, by the way.
Yeah, she's so good. She's just learning though.
She doesn't deserve a suitcase full of accordion. That's for
she
sure.
was not so good. But
accordion.
But
I love maybe we should eat, maybe we should watch TV. Hey guys, Wonder Joints, forgot these were in here. They've been in here the whole time, right here in my tip pocket.
Right. No,
Wonder Joints.
I've got to back up a little bit.
Okay.
Why do they need to be in a fraternity? Why can't they just live in this house and go to college? Why do they have to be in a fraternity?
Well, that's the thing. So the thing is, they went to.
Is it because they can't leave the gym if they're not in a fraternity?
No. They were already living in the house.
Right. So why do they need to be in a fraternity?
Well, it all was spawned from the rock coming through the door, the window, and they went before the Greek council. I was saying Great Council. They went before the Greek council.
But they were already trying to be in a fraternity.
No, that's when it started. So they went before the Greek council to complain about the rock, but that is when they actually they applied to be a fraternity at the same time. They sort
Right.
of mixed those two things.
But if someone
in.
throws a rock in your window, it is absolutely a police matter.
So
It is not a Greek council matter. They don't have to join
Right.
a fraternity.
Right. Well, I do want to tell you this. I don't know if you're going to believe this, and this is just based upon
Wait,
sort
this
of
isn't nonfiction.
just sort of your reaction to this movie. I just don't think you're going to buy it. They didn't have a great script for this, and much of this was ad-libbed. And even who I thought actually, Goose, Dr. Green, Anthony Edwards did a lot of ad-libbing on this movie, which I was, I just don't think of him as that kind of actor,
Right. Yeah.
But a lot of this movie is just completely made up. I mean,
Okay, so the joints.
The joints come out.
There's a reason nerds are nerds, and that's because they kind of stay in the box. They're doing the right things. They're not drinking the alcohol. They're not smoking the major joints.
You obviously did not know the same nerds that I knew.
Well, are you talking about that part of the Halloween party nerd thing where you're like, oh,
yeah,
these are-
I mean them alone, but like my friends weren't getting sold pot by like the cool kid in school.
Are you sure
I mean,
you're not just labeling
I
people
think
the wrong way?
well,
Because
hold on,
those
hold
are
on.
stoners.
I think
there's not just
we're
stoners.
a little bit off.
We're in freaks and geeks.
In that a little bit. I will say this, that the
best parties I ever went to were thrown by nerds.
one of
Dungeons
the biggest
and Dragons, cloak-wearing nerds.
Because I do want to hear that. But the biggest the biggest nerd in high school ended up being the class president, which was a popularity contest. And I'm not even sure how that happened. And like he couldn't even really function in a group of 3 people.
Because he had Asperger's?
No, he just was just not
Did
really
he hold
a
his
social
hands by
dude.
his pockets?
That dude now is like this badass lawyer in Houston.
Right.
He grew up in this white Republican family. He's now married to this super hot African American chick.
White and Republican, really. I've never even
Why
heard
do you
that
gotta
combination
bring
before.
race into this?
Oh, because that's what this fucking movie is.
Totally.
It is, yeah.
Totally.
No, but Casey, I think so. Back it off just a smidge as far as like it all encompassing, and just tell the story about the greatest party you've ever been to.
I worked at a bookstore when I was 17 and a half, all 4 years of high school. And I worked directly next door to a place called the Game Exchange. And the Game Exchange was like what I thought was like a video game store. It wasn't. It's like Dungeons and Dragons, magic cards, paint a figurine, cosplay. Nerd store.
That's full on nerddom.
And they knew they were nerds. And they were proud to be a nerds, and that's what
Yeah.
they fucking did, right?
And I feel like that's a thing now. It's almost like lends itself into what we were talking about. There's a confidence that comes with knowing you're a nerd.
And one of the dudes that goes there regularly invited me to his birthday party. So I'm like, yeah, sure, maybe I'll go, right? And in my head, I'm like, I'm not fucking going. There's no way I'm going to this thing. So I'm like, and I had like this inner turmoil of like, I guess I'll maybe show up. They'd probably be disappointed if I didn't go because they invited me. And like, they'd be so happy if I do go. Of
course.
And I was a fucking asshole. I showed up to this party. It is the craziest party I've ever been to in my entire high school life, not life thus far. And it's insane. Like, I go there and I'm like, okay, like, they didn't know what alcohol to buy, so they bought fucking all the alcohol.
Yeah.
Everybody's naked. Everybody is literally, there's just people having sex in corners. Like, then the other people are just playing Guitar Hero, and there's people fucking swinging on shit. Like, I'm like, what is happening?
It's like super bad.
Dude, yeah, I had all the friends with the rich parents, and if I got invited to a fucking New Year's party on a fucking boat having fun, or I got invited at these people's houses for the rest of my high school career, I went to their parties.
I have to say, they're having sex with these girls, okay? Lewis goes up in the room and has sex with probably the nicest looking one there.
I agreed. 100%,
Right?
yeah.
Why aren't we stopping here? Why are you looking a gift horse in the mouth? Why are they just not completely fine with having sex with the moose?
Would you rather live in the ascendancy of a civilization or during its decline?
Poindexter, do you want to fuck or not?
When he says
ad-libbed.
Those are great.
They're so great. And yeah, that one was ad-libbed. And I tell you,
There's a couple more ahs coming up. They're even better. But.
One of the things that's so fucking funny about this is like everybody's getting laid and everybody's, just going crazy. And then you've got Gilbert, and this story is sweet, Gilbert and Judy, but at the same time, they're switching glasses and comparing prescriptions. You know?
That's
like,
nerdy.
That's fucking nerdy.
Nerd.
They're the real nerds.
Nerds.
Yeah.
Nerds. 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 Nerds.
Penny raid! Oh, man.
So this is obviously the best part of the movie.
Okay, so this part of the movie is...
Also the most illegal. Also the most immoral.
This is not the most illegal, and we'll get to that. This is highly illegal.
Highly illegal.
But possibly...
This is a jailing offense.
Of the entire fraternity goes down. Everybody.
Right. Everything's shut down.
Everybody's going to jail. Your parents are getting fucking civil suits and shit.
Exactly.
Like, this is fucking crime.
Crime.
That's what's happening.
Right.
And for some reason, in the mid-'80s, we thought it was okay.
The sportscaster lady just got awarded how many millions of dollars?
Oh my gosh, I know. And that's fucking...
For this
and,
same thing.
I don't even want to joke about that. That's fucking terrible. It's not... it's not something that I even thought about. You know, like... It seemed harmless. You know, it's like, even the fucking idea of a panty raid now is like you can't do that. You can't do it.
If somebody stole my panties
Yeah.
from any drawer that I ever owned my whole entire life, I would literally fucking murder them. That is like creepy serial killer shit. It wouldn't even be like a funny like, I stole your panties. I would think like that's some literal forensic files bullshit before you get your face cut off.
Let's say that you're in a sorority in a college.
Okay.
And you have a fraternity that you're on good terms with.
Uh-huh.
That you like the boys there.
Mm-hmm.
And they sneak in and do a panty raid and steal all your panties and run out and panty raid, ha ha, and they laugh and they run out.
I'm on good terms with lots of people. If they snuck into my house and stole my panties,
not house, but like your
I think in a sorority house. I think you know what? I think that's something I didn't think of. I think you're fucking spot on with what you're getting at. You're absolutely right.
No, in the movie it makes sense. I'm saying me personally, I wouldn't like it.
In college, a lot of shit makes sense.
Do you know how expensive underwear is?
That doesn't make it right.
They're gonna give it back.
No, I mean you saw the girl fight for her underwear. She ran down the hall naked. I was like, why is she doing that?
$7 for $25 week at Victoria's Secret. Okay,
I get it.
Sometimes
By the way,
shit's expensive.
You are
she had
spot
great
on.
boobs.
She had great boobs.
Great,
you know,
boobs.
great.
We see those later.
But you know, I do see what you're saying, and you're right.
Right.
Don't touch my panties. I don't like it.
There is a lot of shit that goes down in that world between, you know,
can I be honest?
Between people who are in certain groups that get along, and
right.
you know, in quotes,
right?
And you know, whether it's illegal or wrong or immoral or whatever, it just sort of like passes.
I feel like in
as
the early
being
80s,
okay.
if that happened between
even alive
between
in
a
the 80s.
fraternity and a sorority that got along, that would have been completely fine. Not only completely fine, it would have been fun. It would have been totally condoned.
I think then a panty. I think at the time though, I think panty raid used to be sort of like a harmless, fun thing.
Yeah.
You weren't hiding in the shower. I mean,
No.
Lewis is hiding in the shower. She's naked. Panty raid, and like that's fucking
That's freaking
really
weird.
bad.
Yeah.
And she calls Stan, and she's like, "That nerd saw me naked."
Right.
She told on him.
Right. So really,
I would have like clubbed him in the face. I think I'm just really upset because I wasn't let into a sorority because whenever I started college,
I knew we were going to get to this. Knew it.
I was already 22 and had a baby, and like he couldn't live in the house.
This is
and my
every-
hair was, I'm just joking. None of that ever
This
happened.
is every
but, like,
PC thing ever. It's just jealousy.
I'm just so jealous of sorority girls. No, I get it. It's different time, different thing. Me personally, in my panty drawer, yeah, like you can't just invade it.
This is bullshit. I want Bush. Pan down.
We've got Bush. We've got Bush.
Hair pie.
We've got Bush. We've got Bush. Also, something I say as much as I possibly can.
No, everyone says we've got Bush and
Yeah.
Pan Down and hair pie.
But
Did
nobody
they make
loves
up hair
Bush
pie?
as much as Jaret, so he
You know,
says
you
it
fucking
as often as possible.
The one thing you missed was where he's like running through. They're running through the hallways or whatever, and the big lady comes out as like the fraternity mom or whatever.
Right.
He's like, "Step aside, mama. I want to see some of that muff." And like he's and so good.
Like, they're not even worried about repercussions.
And they're still running, and Lewis is like, it's going to be a great year. And then, so this line, so she's standing out on the patio, she's like, and then you just hear, we love it when you're mad. That was ad-libbed. So Lamar gets up in the morning. Obviously, he hasn't
Why
been
is Lamar watching this?
No, he wasn't watching.
He wasn't? Okay.
No, so he helped set it up.
Yeah.
But
by the way, biggest fucking cameras in the world. They had
oh my
drill
god! Holy shit!
gigantic.
You saw the hole being drilled or whatever, and it's on and it's got a fucking periscope. Jesus Christ!
When they were drilling, first of all, there is no silencer for a drill.
No, there is no silencer for especially a drill with a fucking with a saw extension, like drilling a hole. Right. That's not even a thing.
Yeah, you could silence the drill maybe, but the hole
is gonna make noise. That's
noise.
a fucking saw. Right. It's cutting through sheetrock.
Right.
So Lamar wakes up in the morning. It's one of my fucking favorite scenes in the world. He comes down. He's like, "You guys still watching the pies?" And they're all like, "Yes." It's like, "Wormser, haven't you had enough?" And that little boy is like, "No." You know. And then it's time. He's just like, "You know what? I'm tired of watching them brush their teeth. Let's go back and look at Betty." This is one of my favorites. And Takashi goes, "Oh, I'm getting tired of Betty." And Lewis goes, "Are you kidding me? How could you ever get tired of looking at that ass, Takasha?"
You gotta let them know that you want it! I want it! Good! Oh! Ow! Shower up! Oh, man! Ow!
Shit, we forgot to practice.
Every single Bowling for Soup practice ends with that line right there.
Are you serious?
100%. Because as we were starting the band, we used to practice all the fucking time. Then we got to where we were real good, but we would still just get together all the time. We'd get together, we'd play foosball, we'd play like a song, go sit outside, drink some beers. Some of the guys might smoke a little bit of stuff or whatever. Be time to go home, and I'd be like, shit, we forgot to practice. So every single fucking practice ends with, shit, we forgot to practice.
That's a good story.
100%. And that is 100% true.
You know, guys, we are never going to get a fair shake as long as Stan Gable is president.
But the only way to become president is to win the homecoming carnival.
Why does this make sense? This doesn't make sense.
Well, it doesn't make sense, but it does set up for some good comedy. Obviously, you know, there's not a lot of colleges that are going to encourage the kind of beer drinking that's about to go on. We've got a tricycle race where at the end, and one of John Goodman's best lines, at the end of each lap, at which time the rider will chug a beer. And he kind of like half laughs to himself. Right. So they do 21 fucking laps.
That's
You're
ridiculous.
saying they drink 21 fucking beers.
No.
You've done that.
You know, I have, but not like in the course of a tricycle race.
Yeah, no.
You know, but so there's not a lot of colleges that are going to be, you know, behind that as being the first event. But so much greatness with him in this is like, you know, how you doing? Fucking great. And then the Deji, Hanana no Deo. So good.
The triachlorometha thing or whatever the fuck they gave him. That doesn't exist.
None of this shit exists that's happening here. Plus, that's fucking cheating.
Right.
Yeah.
Nerds are cheaters.
They're fucking cheaters.
And they're rapists and stuff.
Well, see, we'll get to that in just a minute. Rapey. We'll get there.
And from the Lambda Mu team, Dudley Dawson.
Booger.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I was looking down at my phone, and when that burp started, I assumed it was one of you guys. Because y'all always burp into the microphone.
You know what?
Always.
Okay, now, so here's something that we need to discuss.
I've left out when they did the pigs.
Yeah.
Fucking Ogre's nutsack was totally showing. Did you see his
No,
nutsack?
I didn't.
Oh my god.
And no, you can't moon people anymore. So you got to talk about that. But you moon somebody now, that's fucking. You're a sex offender.
Yeah, you're a moper.
You're a fucking sex offender.
That's what I was saying. Is like I would like to see news broadcasted, like fake ones, based on things that happened in this movie, because mooning now is a sexual assault. Panty raiding is like breaking and entering.
You mean like after every scene there's a newscast
Yes.
how they're convicting somebody that
That's
went to
what
the
I
sky?
mean. That's what I mean. Like, I think that like all these like things that they do, there's like a hilarious like nowadays.
15 boys arrested today for mooning the Lambda fraternity.
Yeah, for exposing themselves.
while singing "Oh McDonald."
One of them had fully exposed
Because everything's
nuts.
such a thing now, and it wasn't before. So yeah, that's what I meant in the first place when I got a bunch of blank stares from you.
So
assholes.
why are the fucking guys arm wrestling girls?
Yes, I had that
the
note
point
in here.
of that? What's the
Why
point?
were the ladies arm wrestling the men?
Yeah.
Question mark, question mark.
Wait till you see Lamar's throw.
How come?
Worms is a master at aerodynamics, and he designed the javelin to go along with Lamar's limp-wristed throwing style.
Limp-wristed throwing style.
You can't say that.
Offensive and awesome.
It's so offensive. And the thing is that I didn't. So this is one of those things where I didn't get the joke as a kid. You know, I was.
Yeah, these are like over your head kind of stuff.
100%. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't understand the whole limp-wristed throwing style.
Right.
And then that one became funny later or whatever.
Right.
But still, that fucking javelin is not regulation. You can't
That's
do that.
cheating.
You can't
Again.
do
You
the
can't
fucking
do any of the stuff. It's hilarious.
Why can't you just fucking let the ROTC guy win, for Christ's sake? You know, like, he tried so hard. He was wearing the full outfit and all of that stuff. From here, they go to the fundraising part of the movie, and Alpha, Beta, and the Pies have a kissing booth, and the nerds... Can I call them nerds?
Yes,
or should I
they're
say
the nerds.
Okay, the
Not
nerds.
anymore. You can't call them
Okay,
nerds
the
anymore.
Lambdas and the Omega Moos are selling pies. So Lewis waits in line. He pays for his tickets, and he gets up there, and he's like, "I'm next," and she's like, "I'm not kissing a nerd." And he's like, "You have to. I paid the money." And then you get kiss this nerd. And they shove
You can't
the lady,
say kiss this nerd,
and shove an overweight lady
with a
up
mole.
Right, you can't
You
do
can't do that now.
You can't do it anymore.
How are movies entertaining anymore? How
They're
are they
not,
entertaining?
really.
They're not. How is
Yeah.
college entertaining anymore?
Exactly.
You mean this? And now I'm starting to figure this out. This wasn't real, guys.
College is still fun. I frequent colleges all the time when
This-
Jaret is out of town.
Did not happen. Then she comes up to him. She's like, "Stan, I want to do it. All this kissing's making me horny." And he goes, "God, Betty,
Wait,
you're
yeah.
like a goat. Get it? Because they have a goat at the frat house."
Because the goat likes to fuck so much or something?
No, he was just saying you're like, yeah, I think that is it. But here's the thing. So during this movie, we've discussed a few things that might or might not be politically let's just say they're not politically correct. There is some racism. There is some crime. There's
some revenge porn
There's
at the
some
bottom of the pie.
assaults. There's
Revenge porn at the bottom of the pie.
At the bottom of the pie.
Yeah.
Revenge porn.
There's a website
You
for
can't
that
have
now.
revenge porn
But
now.
then
You
we
can't.
get into perhaps maybe the most celebrated crime in the history of this kind of movie. And that is rape on the moon. He fucking follows her in. She's like, "You want to go do it on the moon?" He's wearing Stan's mask, doesn't take it off. She's calling him Stan, and they do it. And at 13 or 14, I was fine with it.
I was fine with it at 13 or 14 too.
The
Because
thing
it was
is,
for her own good.
now it's fucking gross, and this is what happens.
That was wonderful. You did things to me you've never done before. You're that nerd.
Yeah,
God, you were wonderful.
thanks.
Are all nerds as good as you?
Yes,
How come?
because all jocks think about is sports. All we ever think about is sex.
Why was the funhouse closed? Why was no one trying to walk on the moon while this was going on? And the moon is waterbeds, and she's wearing heels.
I would like to
I thought about that
actually.
too.
I would like to find a clip that actually expresses what she would say whenever he takes that mask off.
Like in real life.
Yeah.
Like
it probably sound like
it probably
Like, why would it matter how good it made her feel? The fact is that it was a violation.
Right. So I don't know that we.
Super rapey.
I realize I led us down this path. I don't want to get too much into that.
Let's get into this.
No, that's like the biggest point of this whole movie. It's super rapey. If I could ever not see this movie for 20 years, the only thing I remember was the rapey scene on the moon bounce.
That is not true.
Totally
yes, it
true.
is for me. For me specifically,
totally true.
This movie was the stay-at-home sick movie for me. It was always on.
It's like saying
all I ever associated was.
It's like saying
scene.
if the rapist makes you orgasm, then it's okay.
That doesn't make any sense because you would associate it with we've got Bush.
I don't. All I associate it with is let's do it on the moon. That's it. And the whole thing where how are you so good at it? Well, that's what nerds do. Blah 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 blah. That is the scene that I remember
How in the
most.
fuck would they have written that in that way? You know what I mean? Like it just seems like there should have been another way to make him super impressive. Because the fact of the matter is, and let's just put it like this. And I in no way do I mean this the way that it would sound like in a court of law. But let's just face it, Betty is loose. She fucking is in love with him now.
She's asking for it.
She's asking for it. Now she's like, can we meet?
Wow.
No. What I'm saying is,
wow.
He said she's asking for it.
They do it. And then she goes, can you meet me later? I'd like to do that again. And then she turns down sex later and says, I'm in love with a nerd.
But if you specifically being so sensitive to violation situations,
that's what I'm saying. I'm trying not to get into that right now.
But I'm just saying, if
I'm
you
just saying
if
the
you
male
watch
writer
this movie,
wrote it this way,
and the whole movie happened exactly the same, and then he took his mask off, and she started crying and said, "I thought you were my boyfriend," you would be mortified.
This is as rapey. I can't even believe that in fact, the way that I am now, and as sensitive as I am to
that concept,
I can't even believe that it didn't bother me earlier. I know that I figured it out by 15 that I was like, man, that's real fucked up, but I guess it was because it was on the moon.
It doesn't fall into jurisdiction.
Different area codes.
So basically what happens is they essentially sell the nerds are selling pies, and they have a
revenge porn pies.
Did they say eat a pie?
Eat a pie for charity.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And you're eating it, and then you get a picture of Betty
with her puffy nipples.
I knew you weren't going to like those boobs.
No.
I'm okay with them.
No.
Yeah, I think they're pretty.
No, if they weren't, if it wasn't for the puffy nipples, I'd be fine with them.
I'm all right with it. But we're tied up. We move to the music part of the competition.
Move right on the fact that these women were violated by somebody taking their pictures and then putting them in a.
We got to finish the fucking podcast at some point. We can't deal with all of the fucking illegalities of this movie.
It's all rapey.
It's pretty rapey.
If we deal with all of the fucking,
and I'm a Republican. And I think
Christ,
it's rapey.
If we deal with all of the crimes committed and all the racism, we'll fucking be here all night. All right, so we get to the music part of the thing, and again, a lot of sexual endo. So the first group does "Row, row, row your boat," and it's like gently down the stream, and then the girls pop up and merrily, 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 and then they go back down. Life is but a dream, and then the girls pop back up and wipe off their mouths.
Right, that was
pretty great. Not great, but you know what I thought about that? That's a college skit.
Sure.
That one would actually happen on a campus.
They might get frowned upon for it, but sure.
But what I'm saying is just the caliber of what's delivered.
Right.
That it wasn't actually clever is the point.
And then it's not even musical, the comedian part, and I didn't even fucking get dead ant, because he should have went dead ant, but they probably couldn't get it fucking cleared.
You didn't get that?
I know that now because I'm fucking 44 and fucking famous.
I knew that the first time, and I was 11 and
we can't even get your music cleared for this podcast.
That's
we get
exactly
it yanked
right.
off of YouTube.
That is exactly right. All right, so then the song happens. Now here, I want to try something, and I want you guys to. This is I want to try to do it from memory.
Okay.
All right, and please now everybody.
Are you about to rap this song?
I'm going to try to do the whole thing.
He's not a good rapper.
Let me assure everyone, he has closed his laptop.
And I have not researched
this.
I'm not and I have not researched this. I'm going to do this from memory. Now, would you like me to sing along with it? Do you have it?
I have it.
You want me to just do the whole thing?
I have the entire song, but I would like to
All right, here we go.
hear you do it.
All right, here we go. I think I know it. I think I do. All right. Clap your hands, everybody. Now, everybody, clap your hands. We're Lambda, 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 and Omega Mu. And we've come here on stage tonight to do our show for you. We got a rockin' rhythm and a high-tech sound that'll make you rock your body down to the ground. We got Poindexter on the violin, and Lewis and Gilbert will be joining in. We got Booger Presley on the mean guitar, and a rap by little old me Lamar. We got Tekashi beating on his gong. The boys and the moos are clapping along. And just when you thought you seen it all, along comes a Lambda 4 feet tall. Break. That's pretty good.
That was amazing.
All right, let's check my work. Let's check my work.
You were dead on. Here we go.
Let's check my work. Electric drums. All over this movie, electric drums.
Miami Vice, Jan Hammer.
You love Miami Vice.
Clap your hands, everybody, and everybody clap your hands. We Lambda, 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 and Omega Mu. And we've come here on stage tonight to do our show for you. We got a rockin' rhythm and a high-tech sound that'll make you move your body down to the ground. We got Poindexter on the violin, and Lewis and Gilbert will be joining in. We got Booger Presley on the mean guitar, and a rap by little old me Lamar. We got Tekashi beating on his gong. The boys and the moos are clapping along. And just when you thought you seen it all, along comes a Lambda 4 foot tall. So won't you come on out here on the
Damn
floor,
it!
so we can work our bodies like never before.
Oh, no!
You missed a line.
That was pretty good, though.
It was pretty impressive.
Damn it!
I like that this guy is the only guy in the world that can make the word booger sound like cool. Booger!
So this movie sucked balls and is totally awesome all at the same time.
You know, when you were a baby in your crib,
You sucked balls.
your father looked down upon you and he had one wish. Someday my son will grow up to be a man. Well, look at you now. You just got your asses whipped by a bunch of goddamn nerds. Nerds! Nerds!
I was going to yell it, but I knew he
Well,
wanted
if I
to.
were you, I'd do something about it. I would get up and redeem myself in front of the eyes of my father, my maker, and my coach.
Well, let's get those nerds! 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 What are we waiting for?
So I say anytime we play before a band in Bowling for Soup, I'll always go out and watch a few songs or whatever, and I'll go into the dressing room and I will say, you just got your asses whipped by a bunch of goddamn nerds. And it's funny every time. It's amazing how that happens.
That's true.
But my goodness, man. Oh, God, John Goodman is great in this.
He's great. I absolutely
so
agree. He was
good.
perfect in this movie. The one person. We skipped a clip, by the way.
No, I already said I'm in love with a nerd, so that's fine. Let's just.
He rapes her one time and she's in love with
damn
him.
it! That's what I said. I don't want to talk about this again. You can't just keep it. It's okay.
It's the rapiest movie of the 80s.
Okay.
Forget the rapey part. I'm
All
just
right.
leading into the part. She's
No,
in love with him.
Yeah, exactly. No, he's spied on her from the shower. He's scared the shit out of her in the shower. Saw her naked. Then got
Stole her
cameras.
panties.
Stole her panties. Put cameras into her dorm.
Put put her boobs on for the
And here's
display.
the thing: even if she was not mad at him for having sex with her on the moon, it seems like she'd be pissed off about the pie thing.
Right.
There's a line around the block.
Right.
They've made over $2,000.
Or maybe she didn't know about that yet, but the second she finds out,
She
that's
would have
gonna
known
be a
about
problem.
it. She would have known about it by the talent show part.
You know, I heard that dolphins were rapey, and that girl that got her arm eaten off by that shark is still on Dolphin Tale too. So we're all, things happen.
I'm gonna fucking go along with that line of thinking and say 100% right. That's 100% correct. Oh, she's tapping out. What just happened?
She dropped the mic.
Oh, she's got to pee.
I agree with you. The soundtrack was very distinct. And it was fitting. It's very fitting. Okay? Until we get to this scene.
Hold it, coach. You just hold it right there.
It seems a little out of place. I can't put my finger on why this music seems different than all of the other music. I don't know what kind of vibe they're trying to portray here.
Oh my god. So it says in the trivia that Lambda 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 was chosen because it's one letter after KKK.
KKK, right.
Yes, I've read that.
So, oh my god, that is so fucking funny.
This is the most
so
racist thing about this movie. Is like, okay, we've got
racist?
black guys on the screen now. Let's play black music.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm still saying the Indian girl. I think the Indian girl is the most racist fucking thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, that is crazy. Like, that's like something.
But no,
out of
who's gonna get offended by that?
No,
like,
I tell
can see
you.
someone actually getting offended by this.
Somebody would get offended by that if they saw it now. If that was happening and like it was, and you were just. I mean, it's
Are we going off of
insane.
just racism or
Reverend Al
just
Sharpton
prejudice
is not.
in general?
Reverend Al Sharpton is not watching this movie. Is what I'm saying. But some Indian person might watch.
Are we just doing race? Or are we doing
that's
like
weird? Why would they
all
put that
over
in there?
prejudice?
I'm just saying this can't be done.
Dean
All right, okay.
Ulick, this movie is super racist.
I just wanted to say that I'm a nerd. And I'm here tonight to stand up for the rights of other nerds. I mean, all our lives, we've been laughed at and made to feel inferior. And tonight, those bastards, they trashed our house. Why? Because we're smart? Because we look different? Well, we're not. I'm a nerd, and I'm pretty proud of it.
Hi, Gilbert. I'm a nerd, too.
I just found out tonight, and we have news for the beautiful people. There's a lot more of us than there are of you.
Beautiful people, banana.
I know there's alumni here tonight, and when you went to Adams, you might have been called a spaz or a dork or a geek. Any of you that ever felt stepped on or left out, picked on, put down? Whether you think that you're a nerd or not, why don't you just come down here and join us, okay? Just come on.
Listen, this pissed me off because Gilbert
ad-libbed, by the way. His speech was ad-libbed.
Are you serious?
100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, why does the screenwriter do his job?
Because there was no script. They basically handed him a mic and go, react to this. You're now the president of the council. Everybody's nerds. Your house just got wrecked.
He got dunked in the fountain.
Right.
He got almost strangled by the guys
John
on the
Goodman.
stage. Right.
Yep.
He starts giving this very eloquent speech, apparently ad-libbed.
Right.
And then dickhead just runs over, grabs the mic from him, and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, this isn't your moment. This is fucking my moment."
He's got to back it up, and here's why. Because he fucked up and got negative. You know? He fucked up and got negative. We talked about this earlier in the podcast. It's because of his negativity. It's because of his negativity that this is all happening right now. And he needs to bring it back to positive. You know how we do that, Rich?
How do we do that?
Benefit of the doubt guy.
He's back, ladies and gentlemen. Benefit of the doubt guy is back.
I'm regretting this already.
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
All right, so the movie ends. I think it ends at the right time.
On a racist note.
Yeah. No. It ends with a great speech, and then Betty standing there with the guy who sold over 2,000 photos of her tits.
Betty's the one that got raped?
That's over 4,000 tit photos to you and me. And
puffy nipples.
Yeah, he Darth Vadered the shit out of her on the moon. And then shit just went fucking crazy from there. The nerds now fucking rule.
I'd like to watch a movie about Betty's story afterwards.
Right.
Where she realizes that she has psychological issues and why she ended up with the guy that raped her and
her therapy sessions.
Exploited her.
I think it's called Back to the Future. They're the parents there. That's Lewis is played by Crispin Glover.
Okay, got it.
Crispin Glover.
But no, man, thank you, Rich, for humoring me on this. I do think that that some of these quotable movies from that time give the audience a little fire on the way to work and on these car trips and shit. And fuck, man, this is a good one. I'm so glad I got to watch it today. And I actually probably there's a few. It's funny. Because there's a few of these movies where I'm thinking, man, can I let Jack watch that with me or whatever? Nope. Yeah, it's so because it just gets to one part and I'm like, nope. No, you can't do that. I may have seen this at 10, but I ain't showing this to him at 10.
Nope.
The world is a completely different place.
But I feel like
I saw it at 10.
Yeah, but did we see it on regular television when they took all the shit out?
I think they blurred stuff.
Oh, no.
That is true. That's right.
So
not
common.
Me, though. Not me.
No, I'm not saying you. And I'm pretty sure I saw the nipple. I mean, I saw the boobs at some point.
100%.
But I am almost positive that I've seen it on regular TV with all the bad stuff. And that was the great thing about TV back then is they took all of that bad stuff off so the kids could watch bad movies.
And that was a great thing about
TV. You can't do that. Yes, you can't do that anymore.
When I was younger,
well,
I
they
could
still
see this
do
movie,
it, actually.
but they just blurred it.
Who? Where? What?
They still do
what
it.
Channel?
Actually, I'm going to tell you this about that. So this is a whole thing. They do edited versions of movies, and the reason why I know that this still exists, they do it for airplanes. They do it for even when they show movies on TV, ABC. Sunday Night Movie or whatever. And here's how I know that this is a thing, because I get auditions for like sound-alikes and I won't really know what it is I'm doing unless I recognize it. But sometimes I recognize it later. So sometimes it's just like, it'll be a line and it's like, sound like this. And you do it 3 times and sound just like that.
You have to say shoot and darn.
Yeah, shoot, darn, whatever. And like you have to sound like the guy that you're doing it.
Right.
And I get these for other things too. Like I get it for movies that they're not doing these where they're not replacing words and stuff. Like I got it for the biggest one that I ever got was I got Monsters University, and I had to do a sound alike, and it was before the movie came out. Hold on, I didn't get it.
No.
But I got the audition for the sound alike for the Charlie from Always Sunny in Philadelphia character. The guy.
Oh my God, yeah.
But I didn't.
Which makes so much sense.
It does now. But if I would have known I was imitating him, I could have done it. I could have done that. The problem is I didn't know who I was imitating and I didn't know the context. It was just like, sound like this. So me and Casey take the kids to the movie and I hear it. I hear the line that I had to fucking imitate. And
Horrible Bosses?
I'm trying. No. It was in Monsters U. Monsters U. They basically had.
He's in that movie?
Yeah, he's the guy who it's just 2 legs and a face on the 2 legs, and he just talks like this.
Why are they censoring Monsters?
They're not censoring it. It's just so that they can do things like promos for McDonald's if something is so they can't. They don't have to pay them to come in and do it.
I got you.
Yeah, so here's the voice.
So I hear the voice, and Casey's sitting there next to me. I'm like, fucking shit. Like, I'm trying to explain to her and not be loud, and the kids are there.
Right, because you're in the movie theater.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, and you can't explain in context, like, I fucking did a sound alike for this, Like, but to me, that's a big deal. Like, I'm sure 300 people auditioned, but I actually got into I think I was like in the top 40 for that one, and I still didn't know who I was doing.
Right.
If they would have told me who I was imitating, I would have fucking nailed it. I would have nailed it.
Absolutely.
Because I could just sound like him.
Right.
But I didn't.
Let's talk about the real issue here.
Okay.
You should have been Super Stuntman Steve, and we both know
Oh,
it.
no. That's how I dwell on this a lot.
What's Super Stuntman?
Let's save that for the after show, all right?
Okay.
So during the after show,
Buy it.
No, so if you so that's the kind of things that you miss.
$5
if you're not doing the if you're not doing the Patreon subscription.
It's
and again,
$5 a month, you fuckers.
$5 a month, and we do a lot of outtakes. We do a whole post show. We do Google Hangouts. We do.
Don't get one Starbucks in the morning
Skypes,
once a month, and you can afford this.
One big Red Bull on Hangover
all
Day.
kinds of stuff we do. So that is you can go to JaretGoesToTheMovies.com and click on support us. I'm gonna say again, it is great to be back. It feels like we're in the groove again. It feels like we've got the vibe, and man, going on tour and then getting sick for a month is it's a rocky road. But
it'll make you cry at the Notebook.
Don't make me cry at the Notebook.
Look.
For those of you who heard, by the way, that was 100% real, and I haven't listened to that one yet.
He's still crying. He cries all the time.
I'm still crying. I do cry all the time.
Don't try to blame our lull on you. It wasn't you at all.
You
It
shut
was
up.
totally me.
You shut up.
It's totally me.
Everybody go check out our Facebook page. It's Jaret Goes to the Movies. Follow us on Twitter, Jaret Movies. You can follow Rich at
Rich_Coleman.
You can follow me at JARET2113. You can follow me actually on Twitter, Instagram, and on Snapchat now. And I do a lot of Snapchats in the morning when I'm taking my kids to school. It's actually pretty funny. So check that out. I want to say thanks again to our producers, Sheila Ray Wonder, Dave Murray, and
Ashley C.
Right. And to all of our Patreon supporters. Oh, and Wendy Krompf, who is
that's right.
our producer this month. And I also want to say thanks to everybody who's just supporting the podcast. Thanks to everybody who's listening in on KVGI Radio. Could not have done this without them as well. And just everybody who's supporting, listening, and rocking along with us. We'll see you next week. What's the movie next week, Rich?
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Guardians of the Galaxy next week.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I'm looking forward to it.
You're going to fucking love this movie.
I can't wait. It's got a talking raccoon and the guy from...
I'm telling you, you're going to love this movie.
The guy from The Office with his shirt off?
Right. Yep.
Or was that Parks and Rec?
Parks and Rec.
With his shirt off. And that's exciting for all.
Don't follow me. I'll contact the authorities.
Sounds good. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jaret Goes to the Movies.
Don't rape anybody. Don't be a racist.
We'll see you down the road.